Hello! Welcome to Ryku Radio, where the Ry stands for Italia, the Ku stands for Miku, and there is no coherent thoughts, there is only rambles. Segues are not
And
existent
chaos!
here. And chaos. And we don't really have much brain going, normally.
Apparently today.
Yeah, what y'all don't know is, this is actually our second time recording this, because did Ry do a smart? No, Ry forgot to unmute her mic in OBS. So, we're gonna speed run this, because we've already done this once, and we know what we're doing this time.
The long and short of it is the grind for artifacts is a pain in the and we'll probably recite that when we go through the second half of artifacts once again, but the quick summary of it is artifacts are a pain in the grind. There's different kinds, depends on who you're building, depends on what you're looking for.
So, we'll still go over the quick of, like, what artifacts are, and then we'll speed run through the second part. So,
yes.
In Genshin, my same disclaimer, I am not affiliated with Genshin or Horyoverse in any way, shape, or form. We just play this game too much, so we know too much. So, we talk about it too much. With that, there are 4 main ways to power up your character in Genshin. There is leveling, there is weapons, there is talents, and there are artifacts. The only ones of these that are connected to the RNG gods is artifacts. Because you have to do little challenge runs through areas called domains in order to get the good artifacts. And even once you get them, if you get the level of artifact you want, which it's 1 through 5, you might not get the stats you want because RNG. So you have to do these challenges over and over and over and over and over again to hopefully get what you want. And then even if you find the artifact you want, you then have to level it up, of which there's more RNG combined in there, because every 4 levels you can have new stats be added into your substats.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, grind is
Yes, the grind is very consistent in this game. So, with that being a thing, artifacts is kind of the last thing that I know I look at when getting levels up because of the fact of just how long it takes. But it's also a very important thing to get up because of the fact of how much it does help.
It's insane.
It is insane. The artifacts that we'll be talking about today, we're going to be starting mainly in the beginner artifacts, things to help you as you're starting the game and getting used to things, as well as kind of poking at the aesthetics of the artifacts that we'll be looking at, because me having gone to art school and have been drawing like my entire life and various different forms of art, and Miku being a art lover and enthusiast, we kind of talk about this way too much. So we will be definitely going into the art of it, as well as going into the bonuses of it, and talking a little bit about applications for it.
Yes.
Did I cover everything that took us about 20 minutes beforehand in about 3 minutes?
Yeah. I'd say that's a good summary.
Okay, I think we're going well with this speed run. Love it.
Now, the next question is if we can keep with said speed run.
Oh, hell no. We've already condensed, like, down by over 75%. I think that that's about as good as it's gonna get. So let's take our blessings where we got them.
Yeah.
We did have some good tangents in that last one that didn't work out, though. I'm a little sad about that.
Yeah. Well, and maybe we'll save it for the next round of the artifacts when we get to it.
Yes.
If we remember, that is.
You know, when we sit down and kind of hammer out details, we'll figure something out. I know we will.
True that. Anyways, moving on to the sets.
Yes, to the sets. Okay, so we are going to start with the 1-star set. This set is the most basic of basic. It has no bonuses. It is called the Initiate.
It's a cute little flower and a cute little feather. Reminiscent of, well, I think reminiscent of Lumina and Aether.
I could see it. Especially, as you mentioned, Aether with the feather in his hair, and Lumini has the flower and feather in her hair.
Yes.
I like the white purity of it. It's like, it reminds me of the start of a new story, which is exactly what it's connected to. It's the start of Lumine's and Aether's journey.
Yes, they're Lumine and Aether's first step into Tibet.
I always say Lumine, not Lumine.
That's all right. That's all right. That's why I got you. I got you.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Lumine. I'm gonna get it wrong.
Yes. Either which way, this will bring us into our first 4 to 3 star adventurer rank of artifact sets.
You mean 1 to 3?
It is literally. Did I say 1 to 3?
I thought you said 4 to 3. I could also be a little too caffeinated at the moment and hearing things, so.
She goes, hey!
I've had a monster and a soda today. And my blue this morning. I have been very hydrated, but I have been hydrated by
In other words, you're playing Squirrel right now. Regardless, either which way, we're starting on the adventure set, which is 1 through 3. It is a lot of bronze, gold, like soft yellow gold, and a green heavy mix, so like a forest green.
Yeah, the yellow is more an accent. I see this more like Adventurer Guild colors. This is very Adventurer Guild colors. Why did it take until the second time of us doing this for us to connect to that?
Because we think of Catherine's outfit and it's more white than anything, and then you think of the actual adventure outfit, then it makes more sense.
Yes, but like the adventures that we see out in the wild, or like the headmaster, or any of that, it's very Adventurer Guild.
Yes, it is. And for the 2-piece bonus for this, it's HP max, or max HP increased by 1,000, where the 4-piece is opening a chest regenerates 30% max HP over 5 seconds. Which is good, especially when you're starting out and you're getting your butt annihilated to you.
You'd use the same joke.
Yep, that's saying.
Oh my goodness.
Meow.
Just like I said last time. Miku, phrasing.
Meow.
Meow. Meow.
Meow.
Yes, as Miku said, this is great for an exploration set, because especially when you're going around the world trying to find all of the things, this helps you not die from finding all of the things. So this is very, very good and near essential, like in the beginning of the game, because many of the chests that you find are guarded. So having something to help you recover from the fight, as you probably don't have a whole lot of characters yet, probably don't have a whole lot of food yet because you're still finding items for it, this will help give you a boon to let you continue to do the adventuring.
As well as when you don't have your food pouch either.
Yeah, food pouch comes later.
Yeah, much later. Regardless, anyways, on to the next set.
Yay, next set. The next one is Lucky Dog. This one is very, very 4-leaf clover based. Very green, very gold.
You know, gotta add some luck in that Lucky Dog.
Exactly. Like the... we didn't go over the different pieces. So there's the flower, there's the feather or the plume, there is the sands, which is some form of clock, there is the goblet or a chalice or some form of drinking something or other, and then there is the circlet, which is something typically worn on the head.
Yes.
That's the quick of it. But
Again, this is us speed running, trying to remember what we said.
Yeah, because let's continue. The flower for this one is just bluntly a 4-leaf clover.
Which I thought that was kind of cute.
It is cute. Oh, I have a 4-leaf clover. It's pressed.
Right, focus.
Focus, I'm here.
So then, on to the piece sets.
Yes, for the bonuses. The 2-piece bonus for this one, your defense is increased by 100 points. The 4-piece is picking up more, restores 300 HP. And with how plentiful getting tiny little bits of Mora is in this game, that will definitely be helpful early game. Because every fight, every creature you take down, at least hostile creature, will give Mora. You can find
Mora!
You can find just random Mora by investigating stuff. So the Mora is plentiful in this game. Not in the quantities we would like plentiful in this game, but...
Because everything costs more in this game for everything.
Yes, it does.
I will always be a broke ass.
Yep. Because the only way to get consistent Mora is to do the golden ley lines, and even then it's like, you get it and spend it in like 2 seconds.
Possibly a second if you don't already know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But anyways, speaking of traveling and adventuring, we're going to go with the Traveling Doctor up next. Woo! Which is, again, a 1 to 3 star, which has a lot of, like, crosses on it now that I realize, as well as light blues and whites, reminiscent of, like, old school nursing, you know, back in the day of history. But more so, like, the, what are they called? Well, yes, nurses, but I can't, like, when they were actually, like, wearing the dresses. Because the handkerchief makes me think of, like, those old school nurse hats.
Yes, I can see what you mean with that. It makes me think very heavily about Barbara's outfit and how that connects. Because her outfit was very reminiscent, as well as the old school nurse outfits, too.
Let alone she is a healer in game too, which does fit her aesthetically wise.
I think that this set was probably created with a little bit of her in mind, with the sheer amount of crosses in there, just due to her role as the Church of
Ferns.
Yes.
And the Church of Favonius and all that good stuff.
Yes. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was a tie-in there specifically with Barbara and this set, because this set is very healing based.
Yeah. So for the 2 pieces, we got speaking of actually healing, the 2 pieces increase incoming healing by 20%, where the 4 piece uses elemental burst, restoring 20% of your HP.
Exactly. So this one is great to have on, even if you don't have a healer, because of the fact that once you use your elemental burst, you still heal.
Which, again, is very helpful for when you're out exploring and you don't really have enough food to cook.
Because the materials aren't super plentiful. You're trying to find them, but then they're guarded by hilichurls or anything else. So definitely
the early grinding of Genshin is very much a struggle bus and a half.
Yes, and then once you have everything in the world, like me and Miku do, then it just becomes half of a struggle bus. You're not fully out of the struggle bus because you're never fully out of the struggle bus, but it becomes a shorter struggle bus, which I don't know if it's better or worse the more that I talk, so we're just going to move to the next set now.
Go on.
So the next set, we have Resolution of Sojourner. This set is very, very, like... I like this set because it's the first one that has a laurel for its circlet. I brought this up last time. I love laurels. But
which thankfully Rai doesn't rest on.
Yeah. With this is a very, like, it's very blue, and very, like, calming colors.
Yeah.
For the...
Let alone I just realized that the clock is a, like, sundial.
Oh, it is! That's adorable! I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, that is one way to check the time.
It is. You know, I also just kind of realized that the flower is kind of reminiscent of the one in Lumine's hair.
Oh, kind of, but it's like reversed because like all the petals are white in her hair with the little blueness of it.
And this is almost all blue with one white petal.
Interesting. I didn't even notice that the first time around.
Yeah, I didn't either, and then I pulled it up and I'm like, huh.
Interesting.
That's curious.
But anyways, getting back on track, what are the bonuses we got?
So, for the resolution, we have a 2-set bonus of attack is up by 18%. The 4-piece increases charged attack crit rate by 30%.
Heck yeah, especially if you use charge attacks a lot, like I don't.
Yeah, I'm not great at remembering charged attacks either. I'm really not. I try to. Like every once in a while, I'm like, I haven't used a charged attack in a while, and then I'll do one to Shogun and be like, okay, I'm good for a week now. But
yeah.
Yeah, the only time I remember like my charged attack specifically is when I'm using archers. Because the charged attack is the aimed attack.
Yes, it is. So sounds like it might be good for an archer. Who knows at this rate? Again, speculation for artifacts. It depends on how you're going to build your character.
Yes.
And with what you're looking for.
Yes. You could make any artifact set technically work for most characters unless it's very specifically elemental sets, which we're not getting into those today. But you could find a reason to make a set for basically any character with the sets we're going over today, all based on how you play and the team that you are creating, because of the fact it's all based on how you play. It's not based on the character directly here.
Yes. Speaking of depending on how you play, I've got Tiny Miracle for you.
Yeah.
Again, it's another 3 to 4 star. Mm-hmm. This one's definitely got like a lot of purple, like in the lighter spectra of the purple, and a little bit of gold to go with it.
Yes, I had brought this up in our first attempt for this video, but the stars that are in this are very reminiscent to the stars in the Wishes. Because it has little golden stars in almost everything. The circlet as well is actually a set of earrings, which is super cute.
Yes, they are. And it looks like there might be like little wings on where you put it in your ear.
Mm-hmm.
The little like ear piercing.
Yeah.
But either which way, I kind of like it because I'm a purple person. I love purples, I love blues, I love blacks. So this is definitely one of the sets that I kind of look forward to getting every once in a while. But of course, I use it for fodder for my 5 stars now.
Yeah. We'll go into artifact fodder towards the end of this if we still have time. But
I think we should save it for next rant.
Yeah, going over all the 5-star, loveliness with the merging stuff is probably going to be better for next round. That makes sense.
Exactly. So then, let me at least get to the bonuses for these two. We got the 2-set piece of all elemental resistance increased by 20%, which is kind of nice.
Oh, yeah.
But if you got the 4-piece, you got incoming elemental damage increases corresponding elemental resistance by 30% for 10 seconds. Sadly, it can only occur every 10 seconds, but hey, that's kind of helpful, especially when you're kind of getting your butt handed to you by a certain pillar troll that likes to throw slimes at you.
Yes, and that'll also be really handy because many times elemental beings like slimes and the such travel in packs of their own element. So if you get stuck with a set of electro slimes by a crystal and there's just electricity going everywhere, you're going to be more resistant to it for the entire duration of the fight as long as you continue to get hit by it.
Yeah. But either which way, it's kind of a good offense for a defense a little bit, I would say.
Exactly. Okay, next one. We have our bittersweet Berserker set.
How is it the small gremlin gets the Berserker set?
I think we know that answer.
Oh my god, Larry.
We know that answer.
Okay. I know.
So this set, it's very, as I mentioned, it's very bittersweet. We were looking into the story of this a little bit before, and we won't go into that now. We'll do stories for artifacts at a later point. But this one is very, very, like, bright blue. Like my hair blue. But every single piece has splashes of red. Like bright crimson blood red.
Yep.
I remember this was the first artifact set when I started Genshin that drew me in, just like, ooh, I like this set. Yeah, I know.
The Chaos Gremlin is finding its set.
Miku's laughing because I'm always the one to go and find something to, fight in that game.
I made friends, is what we say when we find enemies.
My friends don't like me no more.
That too. But regardless, what do we got for bonuses on this thing?
Yes, bonuses for this one. The crit rate for a 2-piece goes up by 12%. And the 4-piece with this one is when your HP is below 70%, your crit rate goes up even more by 24% to make it so that you hit that much harder. Very reminiscent of berserkers in Viking culture, who were known to become more fierce the closer they were to death on the battlefield.
Scary stuff right there.
Oh, yes.
All right. So I guess I'm up next with the instructor set. Another 3 to 4 star. It definitely makes me think of like, well, when I thought of like a music conductor or bandmate by the hat alone. But then of course looking at it some more, it could also be like maybe like a military hat as well.
I could see that, like old school, like, you know,
Like oh god, what's her name? Chevrouche.
Chevreuse, yes. I was thinking like old school France or old school England.
Well, Chevreuse kind of has a hat that kind of looks like that.
Yeah. Which is why the France bit fits in Fontaine.
Yeah. I didn't realize that until after I looked at Chevreuse. Like, oh, that's kind of a cool. Wait a minute, I've seen that hat somewhere before.
So, it fits. Especially as she's the leader of the squad, she would be the one instructing people.
Exactly. And we got some really nice yellows and a little bit of white, and then of course we got that like brown uniformic look.
Yes, yes. And it's not like a super like bright in your face highlighter yellow. It's much more like a light sunny day yellow.
Yeah. Yeah. So for the bonuses for this one, for the 2 pieces, we got increase elemental atmosphere. I think I was about to say something very unsavory.
Oh, thank you for correcting yourself, because I don't think I would have enough meows for that.
Elemental mastery by 80%. If you got the 4-piece, though, upon triggering an elemental reaction, it increases all party members' elemental mastery by 120 for 8 whole seconds.
That's helpful.
That is kind of helpful, especially if you're working more on the elemental reaction.
Definitely, because that will help it go up that much faster.
Oh, good lord. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I almost said that.
You know, we have let many a thing slip that probably shouldn't have slipped, so I am glad that you caught yourself and had the self-control.
Though I'm laughing about it, I'm like, I don't think that would work well in my future.
Yeah, let's nod and say we didn't.
Exactly. So on to the next set of the Exile, Miss Rai.
Yes, the Exile. This one is a personal favorite of mine for the aesthetics, specifically in like in the basics, because it is very, very teal, very blue, slight little hints of green. For those of you who do not know, my favorite color is actually not royal blue. It's teal. So I love this color set because it's just so airy and just pretty. It's very pretty.
It's so pretty.
Exactly.
So what do we got for stacks?
For the stats, a 2-piece set will get you an energy charge or energy recharge rate up by 20%. A 4-piece will get you the bonus of using an elemental burst regenerates 2 energy for all party members. This is excluding the wearer every 2 seconds for 6 seconds. But this does not stack.
So then, does this mean that the wearer is the Exile in this case?
You know, it seems to be. It really seems to be.
I made a connection.
That you did. I don't think we had made that connection yet, so I appreciate that.
No, you didn't.
One thing to note with this set, as it says that this cannot stack, that means that you cannot have your entire party with this just trying to get your elemental reactions up faster, because of the fact that only one of these sets can be active at a time.
Yeah, that would make things very broken if they were all able to do that at the exact same time.
Exactly. So, this is not a stackable one.
No, and there's already enough broken stuff in Genshin as it is. We don't need that on top, especially in early traveling companionship stuff.
Exactly. Granted, there's tons of fixing and quality of life stuff that is being implemented, but let's not break the game, because that would be not great.
No, it would not. So then, on to the next set of Defender's Will, which I got. So, this is still continuing on in the 3 to 4 star. It's very nice. I like the purple with a little bit of green. And
It is
a little
very
bit
purple.
of... I'm not even sure what kind of metal it is, but I want to say it's like a soft little bronze, maybe? I'm not too sure. I can't really look at it right now. But either which way, breaking out of the traditional cup for the goblets, I've got a flask.
Nice. I'm zooming into the images so I can get a better look. It does look like the bandana does have a little bit of bronzy to it. And the top of the flask has the same thing. But it's more accent than taking over because it's very, very silver. And like only the bandana is like a violet purple. The rest of the purples are very light, like a lilac.
I kind of like it.
I do too.
Anyway, I also have the bonus set of the 2-piece of defense is plus 30. Wow. Defense is 30%. And then for the 4-piece, for each different element present in your own party, the wearer's elemental resistance that corresponds to that element is increased by 30%. So if you got a variety pack in your 4-star team, or not 4-star, but your 4-person squad, that's definitely going to help. Like for example, if I have my Shogun, which is electric, Kazuha, which is amino, Kokomi, we got some water, the hydro, and then of course my 4th person may vary. It's going to help like increase your resistance to them, so you don't get hit as hard by that element.
Exactly. So if you know that you're going into an area that has a lot of electro elements, so say you're in Inazuma, basically anywhere, having Shogun in your party with this artifact stack will make it so that you are 30% more resistant. Now, do you need Shogun specifically? No. You can have any of the electros, and you would still have that same resistance. Or you could bring in a team of 3 electros and have that same amount, because it looks like this does stack. Oh no, for each different element. Never mind. It does not stack. I read it wrong.
No, it's good to have a variety party, which would be, like I said, maybe one of each element. But since you only got 4 people, you got to kind of pick and choose.
Exactly. And with that as well, that's not including the fact that you get an additional bit of elemental resistance when you have have 4 different elements.
Yeah.
So you could have what is it, like a 15%? 10 or 15?
I think I want to say it's 15.
15 sounds right.
We'll get you the correct information next time around. But for now, we're focusing on artifacts. So
yes.
Back to the artifact we go.
Yes, so if you get, let's say 15 for the resistance, then you get an extra 30 resistance on top of that. This would help increase your chances of living quite substantially.
Either which way.
Yes.
All right, on to the next one, Rye.
Next one, we have Braveheart. This one
not the movie either.
You know, not the movie, but the color scheme kind of connects to it a little bit.
Just a tish.
The open fields, the bright sun, the fact that the goblet is a barrel mug and not a chalice. It all kind of brings back to that Celtic feel almost. So it technically isn't, but I can see the inspirations. Now, if they would have had a little bit more blue in there, I would say definitely. But that's getting into a whole different thing of history and the like, which we're not going to get into here.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on to the actual bonus sets for the pieces.
Exactly. Now, if you have a 2-piece Braveheart set, your attack will be increased by 18%. If you have a 4-piece of the Braveheart set, you will have increased damage by 30% against opponents with more than 50% HP, which is super helpful when you're taking on stronger enemies than you're used to, because as you get started, you'll be able to hit harder, which will help your own confidence with the situation.
going against ones that might be double your size.
Exactly. Like, I remember when I started the game, Lollitrolls and Ruin Guards freaked me the absolute hell out.
Oh, the Ruin Guard freaked me out of the Thousand Wind Temples. I didn't even realize it was a boss until I was like, oh, that's a boss bar. I gotta go.
Yeah, and then the first time I came across the Rune Gregor, oh god, no. Hell no. I was just like,
I tell you,
I am noping out. I am choosing to nope out. Hell no. And I ran away. And then it wasn't until I started actually fighting them more consistently that I was like, actually, these are almost easier than normal Rune Guards. They're just bigger and look scarier.
Well, not just that, but at the time we were starting, we were so low leveled, where compared to now, it's like, bye. One
basically.
shot.
I'm just gonna go to Klee and throw a million bombs around you and go, da 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 da!
Klee is here!
And you're not.
Yep. Wow, that sounded more dark than you made that. Shit. Dang.
I didn't intend that, but I kind of love it.
Anyways, back to my turn. We're talking about the martial artist set, and we're still in that 3 to 4 star range. And I kind of like it. It's kind of like that good, like martial artist red.
Yes,
like,
it is very
like a red belt.
Yes, it's very, very vibrant red. I love the small bits of black and white, like ornamental details on it. It's lots of very sharp edges, lots of diamonds, very clean cut, which very fits the martial artist feel.
Exactly. So from going on to there, I got some bonus pieces for you for the 2 and the 4. Ooh. So for the 2 piece, we got normal and charge attack damage plus 15%. For that 4 piece, we got after using elemental skills, increases normal attack and charge attack damage by 25%. Sadly for 8 seconds, but if you know what you're doing, that 8 seconds is going to be over and done with.
Exactly. And if you have someone who has a quick refresh for their charged attack or their elemental skill, you can just keep doing it and keep continuing to have that.
Oh yeah.
So like Sucrose is one that comes to my mind. While she has a slightly longer wait time, she also has 2. So if you space it properly, you can get them in about 8 seconds. Because I think her recharge rate is like 12 or 13 seconds. I could be off on the time. I haven't gone into my Sucrose in a minute.
Yeah, samesies. But either which way, that's probably going to be a discussion of more elemental breakdowns into characters eventually.
Yes, we will eventually go into different characters in terms of their abilities, their cooldowns, their benefits, possible teams that we could see with them, and that's just from our playstyles. But that is going to be a different Ryku radio for a different day when I actually, don't make us rush because I...
Well, that's going to be a long plan, so that's probably going to be taking a lot more time, and of course, depending on what ones we go for, like, each region, and then, of course, if we break it down by weapon, that could also be a whole separate thing.
Yeah, we'll figure out how we're going to break that down to make that work at a later point. That'll
Exactly.
again be an off recording type video. Or talk.
But I'm feeling a little chancy right now, so how about we talk about the gambler set?
Oh my god, that was horrible. I love it.
Hey, gambling is all about chance, so I figured that was the perfect way to roll into that one.
Oh my god.
I took my chance and I rolled that dice.
Miku, I love you. Yes, the gambler set. It's very, very stark golds, blacks, and reds. Very reminiscent of casino, of cards for diamonds and clubs and the like. Every single piece of this has some form of icon from cards, whether it be a diamond, a club, a clover, or the heart. And it's very, very stark coloring.
Notice that?
Notice what?
Okay, so you know how I noticed that there is a club on the watch?
Yeah.
The feather has the spade at the tip.
Oh, that's cute. And then the earrings are the diamonds.
Yep, and then the flower has the dice.
Which means
so
the only one
we're missing the heart.
Let's take a look in the chalice.
Nope, that's just a dice cup, which has a dice in it. That is awesome. I didn't even notice that until I looked a little bit further. Though you think it'd be on the earrings for the heart.
You would think so.
No, no luck. I think we're gonna be missing a heart here in this set. What?
No luck?
I didn't even mean it that way. So I guess if you turn the feather upside down, it technically is a heart too.
True, true.
The fact is just a heart. It just has a little, close, very close design. It's just one you're missing the stem for the spade.
Well, either way, it's very, very reminiscent of casinos and the like.
Yes.
So with that, the bonuses here, for your 2-piece, you have increased elemental skill damage by 20%. For your 4-piece, you have defeating an opponent has a 100% chance to remove an elemental skill cooldown, but this can only occur once every 15 seconds.
That I say.
So with this, I brought this up last time, but this could be a really good pairing with the weapons of the sacrificial nature. So like the sacrificial claymore or book or sword. Reason being is the skill for that is when your elemental skill deals damage, you have a chance of getting your cooldown erased there too. So you could just continuously have your elemental skill be ready.
That's actually not bad at all.
Yeah. For my Klee, I have the sacrificial book on her, and I'm able to do 3 of my elemental skill bombs for any time I get started in a fight, because of the fact that I always throw my Jumpty Dumpty first, and it's always going to do damage because of the fact that it's spewing tiny little seed bombs everywhere. So then I can throw 2 more right away, go to my Sparks and Flash, and typically things are dead.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a very good set for those that are looking for elemental reactions and skills heavily based on.
Oh, agreed. Now, Miku, do you need to teach me something?
Of course I do. Let's get scholarly on this scholar set, shall we?
I love how we're playing off of the names now.
We should have done this the first time around, but it didn't occur to me until after. But either which way, this is our last 3 to 4 set. And of course, looking at this, the flower is actually a cute little bookmark. The plume is actually a quill. The goblet is actually, when I looked into it, is actually a inkwell that the scholar had used to clean the tip of the quill and get some ink on there and start writing. The clock, clock's a clock piece. And then, of course, for the headset, it looks more like a monocle. So I thought that was kind of cool how it was really laying into the scholar effect.
Yes, it was very, very cute. I do like how the story with the teacup connects to the fact that the scholar in question is actually from a higher, like, top tier family. And they just didn't care about the teacup, so they started using it just to clean their quill, and now the teacup has ink stains, and you can see the ink stains on the actual item, and it's just like, I love details like that.
Yeah, it's a nice little detail. Like, I didn't even notice in the last set, the gambler set, that there was actually a dice in that cup. Like, that was actually a really cool little detail.
Exactly.
But at least let me it's little details like that are amazing. But at least let me get to the bonuses for this one. So for our 2-piece, we got the elemental recharge, which is plus 20%, which is kind of nice. And then for the 4-piece, gaining elemental particles, which AKA is the thing that helps you rebuild your alt as well as your E-skill. Or orbs, those little rainbow little omni orbs that we see every once in a while, gives 3 energy to all party members who have a bow or a catalyst. So basically, if you're working with sadly a sword, a spear, or a claymore, that's not going to really work well for the character.
Correct. This would do really, really well with a catalyst team.
Or bow.
Yeah, or bow team.
But either which way, this can only occur every 3 seconds, which 3 seconds is pretty fast if you ask me.
I agree. It seems like with the short cooldown with this, you could really use this to your advantage.
Big time. Like, again, especially if you're looking for that elemental side of the effects.
Definitely.
But of course, you have to be careful with your character because it works well with a bow or a catalyst if you're going for that 4-piece set.
Exactly. So you gotta make sure, because this is not one that would just affect the active party member. This affects everyone waiting in the wings too. So if you can get a really good team comprising of bow wielders and catalyst wielders, you could have very consistent ults ready, especially when going into areas that are a little tougher. That can be a make or break. Okay. Now for the last 4, we're going to talk about them all together because of the fact that they all kind of correspond to one another. And that is the praise for Wisdom, Destiny, Illumination, and Springtime.
Which are just all circlets.
Yes, they are all silver circlets, Rose of Thorns-esque, but the thorns coming out of it are connected to the elements that each of these pieces help give boons against. So, Wisdom is Electro, so it has purple. Destiny is Hydro, so it has blue. Illumination is Pyro, so it has red. And Springtime is Cryo, so it has an ice blue.
But wait, this is way before Dendro was introduced as an element. Never mind.
Correct. And we don't have a Dendro flower yet.
No, we don't. Huh.
Yeah, this is just for the flowers that we have. But we could get the Wisdom before the Electro flower was around, couldn't we? Or am I thinking wrong? I might be thinking wrong.
Let's see. Well, for the bosses, we had the Cryo and we had Pyro. Electro wasn't until, Sumeru.
And there's not a water flower, so yes. Yes, I'm thinking correctly.
No. Yeah.
We could still get it before the Electro flower.
I think you're thinking of the cubes.
Yes, I am thinking of the cubes, you're right.
That's a whole different other topic of bosses that we'll probably go at another time. But for now, back to the prayers.
Yes. So with these, they only are the circlet piece. There's not a 4-piece set for them. So the 1 piece of each of these is affected by the element for 40% less time. So if you are in the rain, putting on prayers for destiny won't really help because it's not going to be any less time because you're actively in that skill or in that element. But if you are fighting a pyro abyss mage and you get hit, having prayers for illumination actually would help because it means that you're burning for less time.
Yes.
Because 40% is still less time than you would have originally been burning. And if you're burning, you don't want to be burning no more. So, it can be a nice little boon for if you are, like, you have a good 4-piece and you just need 1 more that's specifically a circlet. This could be a nice thing to put in if you're going into a specific area that you know you're struggling with. I know I had prayers for wisdom on one of my characters while I was going through Inazuma because there was so much electro there, and the environment in general just continuously electrifies you. So having that, especially when you have to use electricity to get around, but then there's a pyro that makes you overload and makes you splode, having the prayer for wisdom helped me there so that I had less overload, less damage, and I was able to, survive.
Yes.
So yeah. With this, we did complete everything faster than before. So,
yay!
I'm feeling good with that. We'll get ended here with the thought of we're going to start going over the 4 to 5 star, beauties next time, because there are a lot of those. We'll probably start with the ones that you can get in multiple spaces and then go by region. because we're also going to go into the stories of these, because all of the sets have very deep stories, and the 4 to 5 sets, they have amazing stories, and some of them connect to characters that we know, or that we have seen defeated, or that have gone on to be Adeptal rank, or not Adeptal rank, Celestial rank. So
either which way, a lot of these sets makes us think of certain characters that we've encountered before or that we might have in our party.
And some of them, you can see how they were inspired by very specific people. So connecting all these dots and going deeper into this set, or these sets, will probably be what we do for next Ryku. But
yeah, that might be also a two-piecer, because a lot of this stuff is very long-winded.
Yeah. Like, going through all the description for, like, Songs of Days Past or Ocean Hued Clam, they have massive freaking 4-piece descriptions. So, and that's not accounting for stories.
No.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
But, my lovelies, thank you all so much for being here for Ryku Radio, time 2. On take 2, because, again, I did not do it smart. But
things happen.
Things do happen, and we gotta be able to move with it. So thank you, Miku, again, for,
Welcome.
being flexible with me.
Of course.
You have been to Ryku Radio, where the Rai is for Rytelia, and the Ku is for Miku. We will see you next time for more of the random rants and sequiturs. I hope you have a great day. Bye!
Bye-bye!